The Wrong Person. Lie, a short film. They met on a rainy Thursday in May. John was rushing to get out of the downpour and Sarah was holding the door open at a coffee shop. Their eyes met, and in that instant, a story began. Their first year was a blur of late-night talks, shared dreams, and a love that felt effortless, almost magical. They were, in every sense of the word, perfect for each other. They believed they had found the one. But this isn't a story about how love begins. It's about what happens when the magic fades. Let's watch this unfold. It's a Tuesday afternoon, 3 years later. Nothing is overtly wrong. There was no big fight. But as John sits there, listening to the quiet sounds of their life, a single, terrifying thought lands in his mind with the weight of a stone.
This is over. I think I made a mistake. I think I chose the wrong person.
And just like that, the poison begins to spread. John doesn't see it as a thought. He sees it as a revelation, a truth he's finally admitting. He's fallen for the myth of the one. He believed their story was supposed to be a fairy tale. The presence of this deep discontent feels like proof that he took a wrong turn, that his real soulmate is still out there. He looks at Sarah, now scrolling on her phone, and the post-honeymoon reality shock hits him like a wave. He doesn't see the woman who held the door for him in the rain. He sees a stranger, who leaves her shoes in the middle of the floor and gets stressed about work. This isn't the idealized person he fell in love with, and the gap between that memory and this reality feels like a betrayal. He feels a surge of anger, but he can't pinpoint why. He's a victim of his own unspoken expectations. The movie in his head, where the perfect partner always knows what he needs without him asking, is crashing against the reality of a real, complex human being. He's not mad at Sarah. He's mad that she's not the character he wrote for her in his private script. Now his mind starts actively looking for evidence to support his terrible new truth. This is the negative filter effect. He doesn't notice that she made coffee that morning. He does notice the cup she left on the counter. He is building a case against her, brick by painful brick. Later that evening, the comparison trap springs. He's scrolling through his phone and sees his old college friend Mark on a lavish vacation with his smiling, perfect-looking wife, a picture of effortless joy. John looks up from his phone at the quiet, tired reality of his own living room, and the resentment hardens. He's comparing his backstage reality to their front-stage performance, a game rigged to make him feel like he's losing. He remembers an old girlfriend from before Sarah. The what-if game begins. His mind edits out the reasons they broke up and creates a fantasy where everything worked out perfectly. This ghost of a past that never was becomes the standard against which Sarah, in her beautiful, flawed reality, can never measure up. John is also forgetting a key part of the equation, his own role in the silence that has grown between them. He's stopped planning dates, he's stopped giving compliments, he's withdrawn affection, he has made himself a victim because it's easier than admitting he's a co-author of their current story. He has forgotten that real love isn't always easy. He has fallen for the fallacy that love should always be effortless. Because their life now requires work, patience, and tough conversations, he assumes the love is broken. He doesn't realize that this hard part isn't the end of the story. It's the chapter where real, lasting love is forged. And finally, he has begun to starve the relationship of affirmation. By withholding his kindness, his praise, and his affection, he is draining the life out of the very connection he mourns. He is looking at a wilting plant and blaming the plant, without realizing he's the one who stopped watering it. Staring at the photo, a different thought enters his mind, quieter but more profound.
How did we get from that to this, and what was my part in it?
This is the turning point. It's the moment he stops being a passive victim and considers becoming an active builder. He decides to try an experiment, a 3-step plan to see if what feels like the end is actually a chance for a new beginning. First, he becomes an investigator of his own heart. He puts down his phone, turns off the TV, and asks himself the hard questions.
What am I really afraid of? Why do I compare her to others? What expectations did I have that I never even shared with her?
He stops blaming her for his feelings and starts taking responsibility for them. He realizes the problem isn't the person next to him, but the destructive thoughts inside him. Second, he launches a gratitude offensive. He makes a simple, secret commitment. For 1 week, every single day he will find and write down one specific thing he appreciates about Sarah. The first day is hard. He writes, "She made coffee." The next day, She laughed at my stupid joke. By the fourth day, his brain, now trained to hunt for the good, starts seeing it everywhere. He sees the way she organizes their finances, the kindness she shows the delivery driver, the way she still bites her lip when she's concentrating. The negative filter begins to dissolve. Third, he makes a commitment choice. He knows feelings are unreliable, so he decides to let his actions lead. He chooses to do one thing he did during their first year. He goes out and buys her favorite snack, for no reason at all. He leaves it on the counter with a simple note. Saw this and thought of you. When she comes home, she sees it. She stops.
John?
And for the first time in months, he sees that genuine, unguarded smile he first saw in the coffee shop. It's not a magic fix, but it's a spark. The feeling that you chose the wrong person is one of the loneliest feelings in the world. But it is often a profound lie. It's a symptom of a relationship that has been starved of attention, gratitude, and intentional effort. John's story didn't magically become a fairy tale overnight, but by choosing to turn inward, by choosing gratitude over comparison, and by choosing to act with love, he changed the direction of their story. He realized the question was never, did I choose the wrong person? The real question was,
Am I willing to start loving the person I chose in the right way?
your energy is finite. You can spend it mourning a fantasy that never existed, or you can invest it in the real, beautiful, and imperfect relationship right in front of you. The power to build, to heal, and to love is yours. If this story resonated with you, subscribe for more short films about the real work of love. And in the comments below, let us know one small, intentional act of love you can take today.